Here we go. Lift off. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Five Golden Things. It is not just myself, but I'm talking to the newest addition to the Liberty Collingswood team, assistant pastor of discipleship, Angel Garcia. How are you, Angel?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, glad to be here.
Right. So, Angel told me in the process of when we were talking and interviewing that really the only reason that he wanted to move here and be a part of Liberty Collingswood was for the podcasting. And Angel, it's starting now.
Uh,
And our topic today is going to be you and your wife Mary are new to the area. You've loved the Philadelphia region from afar. Now you're experiencing it close up. Top five first impressions related to the region, whether that's Philly or South Jersey, church, people. I genuinely have no idea what you're going to say,
sure.
but you could start saying it now. Let's count down from 5 to 1. Even if you, Angel, think that, hey, these five are in random order, let's say that we're counting down from 5 to 1 because our turtle doves love the suspense. So, number five, first impression, be honest.
Yeah, all right. Let's let's see here. I think one of the main reasons we were drawn to this area was because we're excited to go to kind of move back into a more urban, diverse area.
Mm,
I'm from New York City. My wife is from Boston. Mary's from the Boston
yep.
area. She would say the greater Boston area. And so yeah, and I think in terms of the kinds of ministry or the kind of places that we see the Lord using us in ministry is in yeah, just more diverse sorts of places. So yeah, so we were looking at Philly as a potential spot to do ministry, and got connected to Liberty through
Yeah.
a mutual friend, Mr. John Travis, great guy. And we came
Also
to,
a Five
yeah,
Golden Things guest. So yeah,
yeah.
keep going.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's awesome. But and then yeah, and then we came to visit. I got to know you and Emily, Jim, and some other folks at Liberty. And yeah, the first impression that I got from you guys and that has continued since is just yeah, there's just some really sweet and genuine people at Liberty Collingswood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been only emphasized even more by the way that people have reached out and just in kindness to me and my wife as we've moved here and kind of with our daughter Isabel and kind of gotten started. So that's yeah, that was yeah, just an awesome impression that we got of the church itself.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's number five.
And kind of nice that the impression seems to be holding so far. But
Yeah.
it sounds good. And yeah, for the sermon this Sunday, this episode is going to release on Friday, November 17th, I believe. And the subsequent sermon on Sunday, I'm going to make a joke about me considering myself more of a city person than a country person. Who knows for sure? But one funny thing, Angel, as you're talking about the Philadelphia region, more
Yeah.
urban, more diverse. Good thing you chose to live on the South Jersey side because nobody lives in Philadelphia anymore. All the action is on the Jersey side. So you would have been sorely disappointed to find an empty city across the river, but here you and Mary are on the good side
Yeah.
of the river. So good job by you. Let's do number four.
Yeah, so just kind of walking around the area that we live, driving around Camden
Mm-hmm.
County primarily. There's just a few things that kind of pop up. So for lots of kids and lots of dogs. So even like
Ah,
I said, we lived in Boston for quite a while, and there are a fair amount of young families and things of that nature, and dogs here and there. But this just feels like a different uh, different scale here. And it may just be, I think you mentioned this, Jim. It may just be that I didn't know this, but I learned from you that
mm-hmm.
Jersey is the kind of densest state in our country and
Right.
all that. So I certainly feel that here. There's a lot of people around, but also lots of kids and lots of dogs. So that's fun. So I guess what I get from that is that there seems to be like a yeah, just a family orientation
Yeah.
uh, around here. So that's great. And yeah, we're as folks with a young daughter, we're looking to interact with other young families, both at our church and in and around where we live. So
Yeah. That
yeah,
I think that's true. For Emily and me, our observation of the same phenomena at this point is that Emily and I have aged out of that stage completely when it comes to when we first moved into this area, we were more or less your and Mary's ages, and we were the ones pushing strollers around, connecting with other strollers. But
yeah.
now we just walk around the farmers market or something and say, "Who are these people?" And they look so tired and unhappy all the time.
Oh
They
man,
should just give it a couple years and they'll be happier. Are you mentioned dogs? Are I actually so we've spent a good amount of time together over the past few months getting to know each other, seeing if this would be a good fit. I We also don't know each other super well.
sure.
Part of what excites me about the months to come is getting to know you more, Angel. So I
Mhm.
don't know this. Are you a dog or a pet person?
Um, this is complicated, Jim.
I like it.
Um, um, but yeah, I want to be succinct here. So I really do enjoy pets.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not I see our family having a pet
Yeah.
at some point in our lives, I don't know. They're a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, you hear the phrase, being dog parents, dog mom, dog dad, and yeah, it just takes a lot of work. But I had dogs growing up, and they were a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
they were just a lot of work too. Love pets in general. Whether or not I
Mm-hmm.
want to have one anytime soon, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure Mary is sure either. So yeah,
Well, we won't hold you to that. The longtime turtle doves will know that Emily and I are pet sympathetic, but not pet people. And my standard line is I have a lot of admiration for people that have pets, dogs, cats.
right.
From my own part, I find people to be so much of a struggle that adding pets to my list of things I need to care for
Yes,
is just
yes.
a species too far
Yes,
for
I
me.
totally agree with that. I think that falls in line with our thinking
There
as well. So,
there was a Philly that pitched for the local baseball team a few years ago. He was sort of a stalled prospect, and one year he going into the to a new season, it was going to be his last chance to kind of get it together, or probably be shipped out of town. Vince Velasquez was his name,
oh,
and
yeah.
do you know him?
Yeah, he's a left-handed pitcher?
Was he?
I don't know.
Maybe. So
Yeah,
the he great stuff, but could never like put together become a complete picture. And Phillies were really excited to give him one more chance. And the headline for him coming out of an offseason a few years ago was Vince Velasquez is very optimistic about the coming season. And fans were like, "This is great. We love confidence. What did he work on this summer? Was he working on his control, on his conditioning?" But the bottom line was he said, I got an emotional support dog this off season, and that's going to change everything.
that's
Narrator
awesome.
voice.
He is
It
a
did not
right-handed
change
pitcher,
everything.
so I got that
Yeah,
incorrect.
lefty
He,
didn't ring a bell for me,
name
but
rings a bell though. Yeah.
most recently looks like Padres, White Sox, Pirates.
Oh man, a journeyman.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
that's great.
Angel, I used to be a young gun, but now I too am a journeyman. We would all do as well. Number three, first, but enough about my pets.
Okay. Yeah.
Number three.
Um, so um yeah, so one other thing that we noticed just kind of just actually, people at our church kind of fall in line with this as well, but as we walked around is Yeah, the kind of multi-generational demographic
Oh,
um, here in this area. So yeah, I've just noticed a lot of folks, young adults or adults with young kids, um, either like they're from the area and
yeah,
they're back and may or may not be living with their parents, or at least kind of getting childcare from their parents and just connecting with them. But yeah, this never really experienced this level of kind of, yeah, like I mentioned, multi-generational um uh yeah, kind of reality of where we're at. So that's been interesting to see. I have a lot of like questions in regard to what does that mean about the, kind of the culture
yeah.
of where we live. And um but yeah, so that's just something that we noticed. So that's yeah, a lot of folks who've grown up here and come back or just kind of stuck around. But um yeah, lots of parents and their adult kids just around. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I've never quite lived in a place like this that has such multi-generational feel with lots
Yeah.
of generations living in the same area. It
Yeah.
in some ways it poses some this is my part of my take, poses some challenges for relationships for new
Mm,
people. So Angel, my hope is that you and Mary and Emily and I navigated this a little bit as well, at least in some cases for some folks that have a ton of family in the area. They're not really looking for new friends.
sure. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but then on the other hand, I think there are so many families around here that are super welcoming to
Mm,
newcomers, and so I've been invited to just a ton of family parties over the years where it's not just this guy that I've been getting to know or this couple or whatever, but we're invited to like their family barbecue or to watch the Eagles game with Uncle Joe and all of that sort of thing.
sure.
And I beyond the family connections, I see people with friend groups that are more age diverse than I've experienced
Mm,
other places as well. So there is a little bit less of a cordoning off to age and stage in a super narrow way. So yeah.
yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, we're out and about in downtown Haddonfield, and we were just grabbing some dinner, and we saw a lot of tables with, you know, two parents, their kid, and and then their parents, right? So like
Yeah.
grandparents, their two adult kids and a grandkid. So we saw that. Um, there were several kind of instances of that as we walked around and had dinner downtown Haddonfield. So yeah, that's that's interesting. So yeah, hopefully we can develop some kind of social cachet
Yeah.
and engage with some families here. So
Where you have dinner on Saturday in Haddonfield?
we went to Gold's Burgers, which apparently is a new spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
highly highly recommend. It was good stuff. Their sauces, I don't know if they're homemade, but they probably have the best honey mustard uh sauce that I've ever had. It was
Okay.
delicious. Yeah.
Did you or Mary have the cheesesteak by any chance?
At Gold's Burgers?
Yeah.
No, we did not.
Okay. I came into this recording bopping out of Revolution Coffee here in Collingswood. And there was a friend of
Okay.
mine there that told me literally less than a half an hour ago that Goldsberger's has the best cheesesteaks in the Philadelphia region.
What?
And so it's not necessarily known as a cheesesteak joint, but you
No.
heard it here first, Turtle Doves.
Okay. Wow.
That's
Check that
interesting.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, man. We have two more we're burning here. This is great. Number
Yeah.
two.
Um, yeah. So the other thing that kind of, I don't know why. Maybe this is just kind of living in New England for a long time here, but man, they're just in downtown Haddonfield, and we've seen some other ones just around the area, but there are some just beautiful church
Mm,
things. There's like three or four just on Kings Highway.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and so I have if I think about this a little bit more deep, profoundly, I have some like various thoughts about that, but yeah, but these beautiful churches, just on the outside, and I don't know whether or not these churches have, whether or not they're well attended or not. I imagine, just given my experience in New England, that they're probably not. But and in some
Yeah.
ways, they're just kind of reminders of just the kind of remaining vestiges of Christendom. But yeah, but these beautiful churches, but perhaps sadly, maybe they feel a little kind of empty on the inside. So um, yeah, so I'm still
Hmm.
kind of processing that experience, but yeah, just within like a block or two, just like 3 or 4 beautiful churches with,
Yeah.
yeah, probably not a lot of folks attending in those. So yeah.
That is interesting, and not to single out Haddonfield specifically, but I think there is some type of inverse proportion between in South Jersey that old historic, gorgeous church buildings and size of church, at least a little bit. Where I more often than not, the big beautiful churches don't have giant congregations in them. At least in my experience, I'm sure there are plenty of exceptions, but it does create interesting dynamic. And we're renting. We love being at
Yeah.
Holy Trinity Episcopal here in Collingswood. I don't think I'm not talking out of school about them or criticizing them. They're not a super large congregation themselves, but uh, historically they've been here for generations and they're on Collingswood's main street. So yeah, it's a facet
Yeah.
of the area.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm certainly not trying to say anything about the leaders or the staff at these churches, but to some degree, you mentioned this in a sermon a couple of weeks ago, I think, Jim. At the end of the day, the church, or your church, wherever you're meeting, really is about the people, right? And so
I don't
yeah, maybe
remember
it's just
saying
you made
I mean I
you did this
oh the here is a steeple. Yeah, right. Yeah.
yes, I've never
Okay.
seen that before. Mary, who grew up a Christian, was like, you've never seen that, but yeah, it was interesting.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll stand by what I apparently preached. Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah, but honestly, it's just another reminder, at least for me, and kind of the kinds of things that I feel um, interested in emphasizing in ministry, and particularly as I kind of continue to think through a vision of discipleship
Yeah.
in conversation, hopefully with you and other members of our church. Um, how do we become the kind of people that attract people to Jesus?
Yep.
Regardless of where we're, where we meet.
Yeah. And
Uh,
just
so
to sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut
no,
you
that's
off.
it.
Keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
No, no,
Uh
no.
the even though Liberty Collingswood have you probably haven't been inside the community center here in Collingswood where we started out. We should pop in there sometime just to show you the old church stomping grounds. But there's
Oh,
some
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
the
John Travis pointed out when I.
yeah, right. So
Yeah.
the churches can meet in a variety of spaces, but I enjoy being able to meet in a church sanctuary. There's something to be said for
Mhm.
worship aesthetics and theological vision of aesthetics because it does relate to discipleship and formation. So
Yeah.
it's those things are not indifferent to the human person.
No, no. And I have to affirm that as an Anglican. So yeah.
You're on board.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we are already at our numero uno. What
Yeah.
what is the last first impression?
Yeah. And again, this is just all kind of in random order here.
No, it wasn't.
And this, pardon?
It was not in random order. We were counting down.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Uh, but and this kind of maybe reminds me of where I grew up in Brooklyn a bit, but
Yeah.
there's some pretty, because the area is so dense in one sense, and this is definitely more pronounced in Philadelphia, just kind of driving around a bit there, you know, just still getting to know that area as well. But because these areas are so dense, there's like the stark contrast between like ethnic and socioeconomic divides are just
Yeah.
so pronounced.
Yep.
So we live in Haddonfield, so I'm not going to be here for long, but yeah, I mean, this area is just it's a beautiful area, obviously pretty wealthy, but
Yep.
driving around and looking at other areas, like Gloucester City or Camden or whatever, the socioeconomic and ethnic divide, just in South Jersey, or maybe I should just say Camden County, since that's we know a little bit more about.
Hmm.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty stark. So definitely something to kind of continue to process and think through as we yeah, as I think through personally how what ministry looks like in this area, and
Yeah.
I know our church is um, trying to do certain things to kind of just uh, reach out and maybe serve areas like like Camden and things like that. But
Hmm.
just making note of the kind of the stark contrast, and again, it is a reminder a bit of where I grew up in Brooklyn as well. So that's kind of why that hit me
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
I, that's accurate for sure. Interesting bookend, Angel, from your number 5 to number 1, where
yeah,
if you begun telling us about you wanted to be in an area urban or urban adjacent with diversity, which I think is true of South Jersey, especially Camden County, because we're so close
right.
to Philly. Even if those factors obtain, we're still in an area with a lot of divides, and
Yeah.
those I I feel and notice the same things. I don't have great answers for
Mm.
how to solve it or what to do, but there are issues that we need to roll up our sleeves and contribute towards helping to get better and not worse. And
Yeah.
there's good work ahead.
Yeah. No, I hope so, and definitely want to be involved. And in, just in any way that the Lord might lead to reach out into these communities, and hopefully grow a more diverse church here at Liberty Collingswood. So
For sure.
yeah,
And
yeah.
just to go back and disclaim something that you mentioned. So for our listeners, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Angel, but when you said, "Hey, we're not going to be in Haddonfield for long," that doesn't mean that you're contemplating a cross country move immediately. you're
Oh,
you're
oh
simply
no, no, no,
saying
no.
that
Sorry, sorry.
that
We're renting here for a year, and then yeah, hope to buy at some point, but we definitely cannot afford
well,
Haddonfield or
I didn't
some of
need
the
you
other.
to. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So sure, just to say that this is not the Garcia flyover of
No, no, no.
South
We're not here
Jersey.
for some sort of 1 year internship or whatever it is. Uh, um, but uh, but yeah, thankful for where we are.
There
So
we go.
got a great deal to live here in Haddonfield by God's just yeah, just making some connections. So
That
but
well, that's our Kickstarter. Help Angel have dinner at the British chip shop as many times as possible.
oh
Yes, so that
man,
he can.
uh, we're definitely looking forward to doing
But fish and chips are the new health food.
that.
I don't know if you've heard that, but it's all the rage.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we've come, we've seen, we've conquered, and now we're out. So more to come on multiple fronts. Angel, thank you for dropping in on only your second work week here at Liberty Collingswood. It's going great so far. More to come. Ta ta, turtle doves.
Thank you.